Assalamu alaikum and good day, sir. In this video, I am going to discuss how I derive my answer in chapter exercises in assessing learning outcomes. Okay, so first, write 5 specific and 5 general objectives in your area of interest. So, this is my specific objectives in my area of interest, which is to teach science in the near future. So these are the 5 specific objectives that I have listed. So I think this is a specific objectives because it is a precise statement that I can exhibit to my future students in the near future. So the next is the general objectives in my area of interest. So let me read this first. First is I have to acquire enough knowledge about my field. Next, I have to encourage myself to develop inquiring minds and curiosity about science and nature. Next, I should know how to generate and evaluate scientific evidence and explanations. Next, I should understand the nature and development of specific knowledge. Next, and or the last one, I have to master my field of study thoroughly. So I think it is a general objectives because all of the statements are not usually specified. It describes my experiences or educational activity to be done. Next, write one specific cognitive objective. So my answer is Group 1 prepared their presentation about the respiratory system. So I think it is a specific cognitive outcome because this statement rather shows the result of mental activity. Next, or the third question, write one specific affective outcome. So my answer here is grade 4 students articulate their insights about the discussion in respiratory system. So for me, it is a specific affective outcome because the grade 4 students here shows a simple attention about the said topic. Next, write one psychomotor outcome. So my answer here is observe correct technique for conducting a pelvic exam. So it is a psychomotor outcome because of the observations behaviors there. So next question number 5, make 2 objectives each using the Rathwold 2001 revision of cognitive level of taxonomy on the following subject matter. So here it is. In multiplication of algebraic expressions, dissecting a frog, and different regions in the Philippines. So my answer here is actually based on the level of what is this? Level of taxonomy in Rathwool 2001 revision of cognitive level of taxonomy, which is remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, and creating. Okay, so in part B, identify which of the following statements is a specific objective or a general objective. Write S before the number if the statement is a specific objective, and write G if it is a general objective. So here are the question. Number 1, appreciate the rule of mathematics in everyday life. So my answer here is general objective. Next is enjoy speaking Nihongo. Okay, my answer here is specific objective. It is a specific because you're just going to enjoy speaking Nihongo. Wala nang ibang wala nang ibang i-enjoy mo na pananalita maliban sa Nihongo. So, I think it is a specific naman kasi Nihongo lang yung binanggit dito. So, next question here is, be able to add algebraic expression with 90% accuracy. So, for me, it is also a specific objectives kasi add you're just going to add a algebraic expression with 90% accuracy, diba? Okay, so next is be able to dissect frag correctly. So my answer here is specific objective also because you're just going to dissect frag. Wala ka nang ibang ida-dissect maliban po sa frag. So that is the reason why I answer here is a specific objective. Next is understand the basic laws of the Bill of Rights. So for me, it is a general objective. So in part C, write O before the number if the statement represents learning outcomes, or write A before the number if the statement represents learning activity. Okay, so here are the questions. First, fixing a motorcycle. So my answer here is O, learning outcomes. It is a learning outcomes maybe because you already know how to fix a motorcycle. So this time you're fixing a motorcycle. Next, adding fractions correctly. This is okay. Learning activities. Next, practicing a guitar. It is a learning outcomes. Learning outcomes because maybe someone taught you how to play a guitar. So this time you're practicing a guitar. You're practicing the outcomes of what you have learned to that person. Okay, number 4, recalling the part of speech. My answer here is learning outcomes also. Why? Because maybe you already know what are the parts of speech. So this time you're just recalling those part. You're just recalling the part of speech. Next is reciting the poem. My answer here is learning outcomes as well. Why? Because you already memorized that poem. So this time you are reciting the poem. So next, part D. In part D, write O before the number if the statement represents observable learning outcomes, or write U before the number if the statement represents non-observable learning outcomes. So here are the questions. Number 1, multiply 3-digit number on a yellow pad. So my answer here is O. Okay, it is a observable. Okay, why? Because it is you can able to observe you can be able to observe that someone is multiplying 3-digit number on a yellow pad. Observable siya. Next is understand the process of condensation. My answer here is U. This is a non-observable learning outcomes. Bakit? Okay, why? Because it is impossible to see. Because someone is understanding, from the word understand, the process of understanding. So, of condensation rather. Okay, so it is a non-observable kasi impossible to see, not visible siya. So next is enjoy speaking ni Hongo. So it is also a non-observable because it is also not visible to our eyes. Next, write the names of the characters in the story, The Boor. It is observable because you can be able to see what he or she is writing. So, he or she write the names of the characters in the story. So, it is visible for us. Next is draw the map of region 2 correctly. It is also a observable because you can be able to see the map of region 2 correctly. So I think that's all. Thank you for listening.